Hi guys, this is a little video to try to synchronize the Tempest to the modular system. So I'm doing some tests, and the problem so far is I have a little bit of an offset. They're not synchronized perfectly, and I wanted to see how that works. It looks like I have a setup now that is, well, the best I can do is not perfect. Probably you would say that's obvious because with Midi you need to have a bit of delay to treat the Midi clock and to synchronize all stuff. So maybe that delay cannot be lowered. If you have any ideas about that, if you can do better than this. So the setup is this. On the Tempest I programmed a very snappy. I'm going to record here on U&O so you guys can see the waveforms and hopefully hear the sounds too. So this is very snappy, very short waveform. Basically it's a sawtooth with a very short decay and obviously no attack, zero on attack. And I'm going to put the Tempest as a master. So for this I'm going to system, MIDI clock mode is going to go master. I make sure that MIDI clock out cable goes to MIDI port, and there I have my MIDI out that goes to the key step. The key step, if that's what you would use, you have to set it with those two switches to MIDI, so that now when you press play on the Tempest, sorry, I gotta get out on the system, and now I press play and the key steps plays, right? So now the key step has a sync out, and the sync out cable goes here to the Metropolis, and the Metropolis is sending a gate every beat to the coast. Again, here I have a very snappy setting, very short envelope, and you can hear it's not synchronized. So I have to reset the Metropolis to match the Tempest first beat, and when I do so, we're going back to see on U&O. Hopefully we're synced. I mean, that's the best synchronization I can do so far. So I'm going to stop so I have a better waveform on U&O, and we're going to measure that in milliseconds. That's 5 milliseconds between the two waveforms. So that's the first thing. Now the second thing that is very weird is that that's the Tempest above, and that's the coast below. So I have an offset, but the Tempest is late. The coast, which is what I don't understand in this procedure. You would expect the master to send a clock that's probably been delayed, and later on the system going 5 milliseconds later. No, it's the opposite. The Tempest plays later. So now I did the opposite. The Tempest is set as a slave in the MIDI clock. Slave. I switched the MIDI cable from out to in, and on the Arteria the in goes now to out. So Arteria is the master, the key step, and the MIDI clock goes to the Tempest that is slaved. And the MIDI sync audio out goes to it's not an audio, but goes to the Metropolis, and I'm also clocking the Euclidean circle just to check if there's a difference here. Should not be. For the moment we listen to the Metropolis that is controlling the O coast. So I'm going to press play here, and this time key step's going to start the Tempest. So the same, we have an offset here. First we're going to check that he's the master. So if I accelerate here, I'll go slower. That's what I have. And now I'm going to use the reset button to reset the Metropolis, trying to match the Tempest. And not bad. Again, could be that 5 millisecond thing. I'm going to switch to the Euclidean circle, press stop on everything, and look at my waveforms. So zoom in. Already you can see that I again have that delay. So that's 5 milliseconds. It's crazy. And the mutant, again, it's the same, 5 milliseconds. Conclusion: either slave or master, there is an offset of 5-ish, 6 milliseconds where the Tempest is always late, which is crazy. And that's the test.